The Delivery tab. The Delivery tab is where you export all your media. There are four main sections that makes a Delivery tab. First, we have our monitor, then our timeline, the render settings, and the render queue. I can come to the timeline and choose a section of the timeline to be rendered or the entire timeline to be rendered. I can just come here, right-click, and select all. And now I have all the timeline selected for render. Or I can come to a certain clip, right-click and mark in. Go to another point, right-click and mark out. And now I'm rendering only this part of my timeline. Let's go back and select all. First, you have some presets. You can create your own presets here. Then you have the output. You can choose to export your timeline as individual source clips, which means that it will create a folder and every clip in your timeline will be rendered to a separate file. Or you can export your entire timeline as a single clip. Then you choose the format. You have DPX, CNN, TIFF, EasyDCP. This is the export to movie theaters. You have AVI, QuickTime. Then you can choose the codec. Let's choose Apple ProRes 422. This is where you set your frame rate. Now remember, this is the same frame rate as the project. This frame rate is being selected when you start your project. You cannot change the frame rate of the output from the render tab. And this is for video data levels. Usually I just keep it on auto, but you can go to scale the output for legal video in order to legalize your video for transmission, or you can go for unscaled full range data. Next, you choose the render job to, where you basically browse for your folder, and then you can create a subfolder inside the folder that you chose to contain the new files. You can choose data burn in, and this is where you choose the frames per second rendered. You can limit how many frames your PC is rendering per second. I usually keep this to maximum. And when you're done with these settings, just hit Add Job to Render Queue. And now we have our timeline ready to be rendered. And to start the rendering, just hit Start Render.